Hey everyone, welcome to Start Your Week with the Coach. I'm your host, Sean Butner, and we're here to help you advance in your life and get more success quicker and with more awesomeness. I don't know. I just do these every week. Now, this week's video is all about why high performance and your results and personal development matter. Personal growth is the key to feeling more vibrant in your life, to feel like you're living your life, to feel like you're advancing towards something that's meaningful towards you and that with purpose. Because when we are more high performant, we are living into our full potential and again feeling vibrant and alive. Now, high performance is the practice of continually beating what's ever normal in your life without burning out, which is destroying your body and relationships along the way. So, if you've ever known that person at work who was highly successful, had all the status, prestige, and all that, but was miserable because they never got to work out and never got to see their family, then we're trying to avoid that. Okay, it feels like the full confidence, the full presence, and the full joy of living into your best self. Now, high performers can get thrown off track like anyone else, but they have the skills to get back on track, to get advancing their important projects, dreams, goals, and ambitions. And it's something that is really personal to me, and I really love high performance and being a high performance coach because it's this work that got me out of a job that I absolutely hated. Not because of the people or the work were bad, but my life was just out of whack. And maybe you've had a time in your life when your life was just completely out of whack. But, and what do I mean by out of whack? I was working, 50 hours at least a week, not a huge deal, sometimes up to 80 to 120, depending on if there's a big release. Not so awesome. I was on call quite a bit, so not consistent sleep, so I was always exhausted. And because I was always exhausted, it was really hard to work out. It was really hard to eat well. It was really hard to meet people and be friendly. As an introvert and as someone that had moved to a part of the country where I didn't really know too many people, like it was already going to be hard to make friends just because of insecurity and all that kind of stuff and shyness and all that. But to have the energy to then go out and meet people, it was rough. So high performance helped me figure it out with one question, what was going on. And the question was, are you living your truth? And I had been doing this job for years and years and years at that point when I heard that question. And I remember feeling like, no, like this isn't what I want my life to be. And maybe you've been there too, where you kind of look around, you're like, how did I get here? I absolutely do not know how I got right here. And so that answering that question, are you living your truth? And I'm like, no. But what is my truth then? What is my purpose? What am I here to do? I came up, I want to help people more directly than writing software. And so a long journey of trying to improve communication skills, trying to find out how to be happy and have a job, which is a huge skill, I think. And stumbling upon high performance coaching later on, like I fell in love with this work because it's helping people, because it's trying to find that balance while achieving higher levels of success and results. And it's been one of the most fulfilling things when I can help somebody get into their high performance. So that's why I do this job. That's why I love what I do. And I love doing these videos for you too. So how does high performance actually help you with feeling happier, with feeling more confident, with feeling more present in your life? Well, we have 5 outcomes that we are consistently trying to get you in high performance coaching. And it just so happens when you get these 5, you feel like you're growing, you feel like you're progressing, you feel the joy, the confidence, the presence in your life that everyone seeks, in my opinion. So the first thing people really want, if you want to be more performant, is you got to be clear on who you are and where you're going, right? So if you know your values and you know that you can live into your values every day, you're going to be much happier. You're going to be much more confident in your job, in your relationships, in your health. It all kind of aligns. when all those areas are aligned with your values, that's when the magic happens. Excuse me. Also, if you know the next steps or where you're trying to take your career, where you're trying to take your relationships, where you're trying to take your life, it makes it much easier to say yes to things, to keep motivated, to keep on it, to keep persistent, to not listen to the haters and not get dragged down, all that kind of good stuff. It all comes from a regular practice of clarity of how do I want to interact in my life. All right, the second outcome we try to get in high performance is helping people find more energy, spiritual, mental, emotional, all that kind of stuff. The way that you show up and the energy that you create in your day is directly related to the results you have in life. That's a tongue twister, as I just found out. So, what energy are you creating every day? Are you taking care of the ABCs of owning a human body, which is enough sleep, enough water, nutritious food, and do you move the dang thing, So exercise, all that kind of stuff. What kind of energy are you bringing into the room? Are you bringing home after work? And if it's not your best energy for your kids, for your spouse, for your friends and family, how can you get there? That's my job as a coach, is to push you. And that question is very pointed. And how can you get the energy that you need to interact with the people you love? Because so many times they're the ones that don't get the best of our energy. Isn't that true? So ways to generate energy, right? Other than the ABCs, it's, go for a 30-minute walk every day out in the sun, rain, snow, sleet, hail, get outside, move your body, do some exercise, do some stretches, whatever works for you. Do a meditation. We talk a lot about that, or we talk about, doing some breath work, just, 10 deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth can go a very long way. So just like that. Okay. Third point that we try to help people with in high performance and find more in their life is courage. And it's kind of a weird word. We don't usually talk about courage a lot in our lives, but another way to put it is, how are you confronting the things that you want to avoid? So if you're avoiding anything in your life, and if I said that and you're like, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, Sean, that's exactly what I mean. Is how are you having that tough conversation? How are you speaking up in those moments? How are you sharing your full authentic self in the times you want to avoid in your life? Or maybe it's you just need to put your foot down. You're somebody that keeps violating boundaries, and you just got to say, hey, stop. No, don't do it. Or maybe it's just being able to share freely, right? Again, as an introvert, that is something that I've worked a lot in my life to overcome, to be able to share my thoughts, my feelings, and communicate better just by being vulnerable. So it's a very powerful topic. And so how are you showing up? What are you taking bold action towards? What do you wish you were taking bold action towards? And how can you actually get there? And I'm going to do a quick break now and say that if you have any further questions on this, or you're like, man, I really need some help on finding clarity, energy, and courage, and productivity and influence, what we'll talk about next, you can always go to SeanButner.com/coaching, and there you'll fill out a questionnaire that's 2 parts, and it'll qualify you for a free 1-hour strategy session on these points in particular. So if you're like, hey, how can I apply this to my situation in my life so that I can be a better performer, or so that I can advance quicker, or so that I can live more fully into my best self, go to SeanButner.com/coaching and sign up for that free 1 hour. Because 1, it's free. 2, I screen those applications to make sure you really want to do the work so that it's not wasting either of our times. But so many people love the strategy session. So many people love the questionnaire. They get so much out of it just thinking about their lives in a different way. So I highly encourage you to go check out SeanButner.com/coaching. Okay. Point number 4 is in high performance, you try to find how to raise your productivity. And what is productivity? It could be, if you're looking for a job, the amount of interviews you get, or the resumes you submit, or a combination of both. In your relationship, it could be productivity where you have evenings when you feel really connected to your partner or family or friends. In your health, it could be, how consistent are you in working out during the week? There's all these different ways that we can measure performance, but really it's what's important to you right now, what are you putting your focus on, and are you sustaining that focus without distractions, right? I think everyone knows what productivity is, but that's what we do in high performance, is really help you to find and get clarity on where you want to be productive, those productive outputs, and then how do you systematically address those in your day, in your week, in your month. Fifth thing that high performance really does to help you grow and advance is, how do you influence others, right? Thinking more of how can you have more influence with people. And this could be a tricky topic where sometimes people are like, this feels a little yucky with the salesman type thing. But if you think in your life of the people that have been most influential to you, right? I'd imagine most of the time you are very grateful for them and to have their perspective in your life, right? And for me, influence is all about just having people that you have a good, trusting relationship with, either as a manager to lead or be led by, either, to be able to rally people around an idea, around a project, around an action in a way that isn't yucky, in a way that's very natural, because we're social creatures, right? And so if we can get you more influential with your family, with your team, with the people in your work and in your career, or with the people that are going to support you as you get into better health or adopt better habits, that's going to have a huge difference in your life. And that's kind of what we're going for. So again, 5 points for high performance that help you grow and advance quicker in your life are clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence. And you can always go to SeanButler.com/coaching if you'd like a little bit deeper dive to your specific situation.